A male colleague once asked me what my thought was about a woman who's in a relationship having male friends, and if at all I'm in a relationship, do I have any male friends? So I had to explain it from how I perceive this issue, because if you ask another woman, she'll give you a very different view from what I'm about to explain. I told this colleague to say, actually, in the past, I had more male friends than female, and after I got in my current relationship, I cut these male friends off. Because first of all, I realized that the relationship I was on, my partner wasn't playing games, or my boyfriend, he wasn't playing any games. He showed seriousness, and he showed 100% seriousness to say, I'm not here to play games. I really do want you to be my partner. So I had to cut those male friends off, because in the past I was dating too, but I still maintained those male relationships. It's because I saw to say the people I was dating were just playful and it wasn't going anywhere. So I still used to talk to those male friends. But when I got in this current relationship I'm in, I had to cut them off. Because from my experience also, these male friends that I had used to ask me out, and I just used to brush it off. At some point, I would think to myself, I think he's just joking. But I'm a straight up person. I would just ask, like, you're joking, right? And the person would be like, no, I'm not joking. And they'll be like, you're beautiful. Who wouldn't want to be with you? I feel like you've been dating the wrong guys. And I would just brush it off. And by me brushing it off, I would either ignore this male friend, or I would just ignore him, and the next day we're talking again about whatever we usually used to talk about. And then this person again would divert into that topic of him talking about him being with me or me being with him. That's the reason. So what I'm trying to bring out here is that a man and a woman cannot just be friends. It is not possible. Yes, maybe you as a lady, if you are the same type of a person as I am, me, honestly, I would take them as my male friends. I never ever had any thoughts cross my mind like, I wanna like date this person, or maybe we should hook up, or maybe we should be friends with benefits. I never ever had those thoughts at all. So when they presented such things to me, like talking about something very weird, some of them would ask me out like to date me seriously. Some would ask me out, just like to sleep with me. That would weird me out, because I would be like, I would even tell them off. I'm like, but I thought we were friends. And this person would tell me straight up, like, how can someone be friends with such a beautiful woman like you? So men and women cannot just be friends. So I told this colleague to say, because he was complaining to say, my lady just posted her male friend on her WhatsApp status and she was saying something about him. This is what I'm saying. Yes, you as a lady, you might take this man as just your friend, but him, trust me, he doesn't. From my experience also, what I'm saying, he won't just take you, he's not just taking you as a friend. From my experience, I had an experience where I would be dating someone, and when I break up with that person, this male friend, it's like he was waiting. He was in line waiting, and he will actually even tell you to say, I don't even know why you are dating these guys when I'm actually here. And you would be like, but dude, I thought we were just friends. And I also actually ended up dating someone who was my friend. Okay, he wasn't like my friend like from the start. He was actually friends with one of my male friends. And then, especially when you're in your vulnerable state as a woman, is when that friend you claim is your friend will actually show you to say, this guy has been waiting for you. Not that he's taking pity on you, like, no, this guy broke your heart, let me take it up. This guy has had feelings for you, and it's just that you didn't know. Or maybe you thought it was a joke, like I used to think that, or maybe you thought it was a joke, like I usually used to think these guys were joking with me. So I told my colleague to say, when a woman gets in a relationship, she's supposed to cut off these male friends. Because, so my reasoning was, for me, I cut off these male friends because I respect my partner enough for me not to talk to another man. Because Even you as a woman, if you find out that your man is talking to another woman, even if he tells you, no, she's my friend, she's been my homie since we were kids, it just doesn't make sense, because you know there is a small window somewhere for something to happen. Even if they just talk, like, why should your man be talking to another woman, a friend, when you are available for him to talk to you about whatever is bothering him? You see that it doesn't make sense. So I told this colleague to say, I feel like your woman isn't seeing this as a big deal, because she's not seeing you talking to other women. If she actually found out, or if she actually saw you posting another woman on her status like she has, she would go crazy. She would actually go crazy and get very upset, more upset than you are. So I told this guy to say, I cut off these male friends out of respect for my partner, because I know how I would feel if I found out my partner is talking to another woman, even if he says she's my friend. Because I know a man and a woman can be friends, especially men. A man just can't be your friend. And there are also some women who are that way. The reason why a man just can't be friends with you as a woman is it's just not possible, especially if you're very attractive. Maybe if you're not attractive, yes, he would be your friend, a genuine friend for that matter. But if you're attractive, because men work with attraction, if he sees something that he likes, it doesn't matter who you are, whether you've been best friends since you are roommates, it doesn't matter. He will make his move, and he will wait for the right moment to make his move. And mostly when they make their moves, is like the examples I've given you, is when you're in a vulnerable state. When you break up with your boyfriend, is when he'll make his move. Or any other vulnerable state. Maybe you're depressed about something, he'll make his move. And you two will end up dating, or you end up just, getting in the shades, and he'll get what he wants. So this male colleague told me, I asked this male colleague, like, are you engaged? Did you engage this girl? And he said, no, not yet, but I'm about to. Because most women also, I want to talk about this, women, when your man asks you, for example, the same thing we're talking about, if he asks you to say, babe, like, stop talking, when you're dating and then you're talking to these male friends, it's just the same as you entertaining other men. If he asks you, stop talking to these men, and then you're like, why should I? They've been my friends since childhood. You and me are just dating. You're not even my fiance. It doesn't need to reach that far for you to be engaged, to marry, for you to cut off those people. It starts from the early stages. You need to build your relationship, like on a positive side, and like you answering your man back. Yes, of course, he's just a boyfriend. But if you are really serious about that relationship and you want to build it, and you just don't want it to be a relationship, if you see this person as your partner, please cut off those men you call your friends. And I know you might ask me, like, so what if you break up and you've cut off those friends? It doesn't matter, trust me. Male relationships don't matter. It's not like, if you, for example, today if I break up with my boyfriend, because people usually say you will remember the people you cut off because of that relationship. But the thing is, male relationships don't matter. It's not like you lose out on anything if you break up with your boyfriend today and you start saying, oh my god, I cut off my best friend Mike, I cut off my best friend John, I cut off my best friend Adam, now I don't have friends. Friends are easy to make. You can always make new friends. The only friendships that would really pain you if you cut them off are your female friends. Because yes, after you break up with your boyfriend, you will need them. So I don't know what thoughts you ladies have about having male friends. And I know, I once watched a video on YouTube where some girl was pranking her fiance and telling him to say, can you leave those female relationships? Like, they were pranking her mother-in-law, the guy's mother, her boyfriend's mother. And then the mom was like, why is this girl telling you to cut off your female relationships? She's toxic. I honestly don't think she is, even though it was a prank, I honestly don't think if a woman tells you to cut off your female relationships, she's toxic. No, she is not toxic. she knows it deep down her heart that it's not possible for a man to be friends with a woman and vice versa. Because what are they going to be talking about? Just think about it. Let's say, for example, let me give a very good example. Let's say, for example, me and my boyfriend argue today. Who do you think he's going to run to? He'll run to his female best friend because he thinks, hey, she's my female best friend. But the outcome will actually be something terrible. Maybe this friend might actually like him, or even if she doesn't like him, this guy will start thinking, I think my best friend is way better than my girlfriend because look at what she's advising me. Look at how she carries herself. I feel like she's better than my girlfriend. I think I should just break up with my girlfriend and end up with her because she seems better than my girlfriend. And if that actually happens and this guy ends up with his best friend, he'll actually even find out that that's not actually who she is. She was just being there for him in his vulnerable state. Guys, I don't know what you think, but that's what I think. Me personally, I would go wild. Like, just think about it. Imagine your boyfriend is talking to another woman. What are they talking about? It doesn't make sense. What are they talking about? We are now adults, guys. We are grown ups. We are grown up people. What is your boyfriend talking about with his female best friend? If you just think about it. I actually think whatever they're talking about is a very boring conversation. It's just, do you remember that time when we were 10 and this happened? It's just actually them like sharing memories, which doesn't make sense. Like, what are you people talking about? So for me, I actually cut off my male friends because it just wasn't right to me, like for me to start talking, for me to maintain those male relationships and be talking to another man apart from my man, you get. So anyways, I feel like I might say too much, but I feel like I have made my point and I hope I have said it in a way that makes sense. But that's my view. And I know another woman might have a different view. They might say, no, it's actually possible to have a male friend. But sis, just think about it honestly. What are you people going to be talking about? And if you meet in person especially, what are you actually, as women are blinded by these male relationships. That's why I'm saying for you as a woman, it would be normal even to hang out with this guy. But actually, the things that you talk about or the things that you do are actually things that you would do with your boyfriend. What's the difference between your interactions with your male friend and your interactions with your boyfriend? If you compare, don't you think it's similar? Doesn't make sense. So anyways, drop down your thoughts. What do you guys think about you being in a relationship and you having either male friends or female friends? If you're a guy and if you're a girl having male friends whilst you're dating someone, what are your thoughts about that? But for me, I feel like these are my thoughts. I feel like drop those male relationships in respect for your partner. Drop them. People might actually say you are insecure or you're just toxic for not allowing you to maintain your female relationships if you're a guy, or for not allowing you to maintain your male relationships if you're a girl. But it's just logic, guys. It's just logic. And like I have said, mostly these relationships where you're a girl and you have guy friends, some would manage to be your friend because they're not attracted to you. But as long as you're an attractive woman, it's not possible. The things that you actually think this guy can think about you is actually what he thinks. You might think, no, this guy is just my friend. He's my friend, he's my childhood friend. The things that you think this guy doesn't imagine doing with you is actually what he wants to do with you. And the things that you think this girl doesn't imagine doing with you is actually what she wants to do with you because she's attracted to you. So it just takes the attraction. Sometimes it's not even attraction. You might find that this female friend might derail your boyfriend from you because maybe she has a better heart than you do. And that's all that guy is looking for. He's looking for a good heart. He's looking for peace. So he'll just look for things that he's looking for. He'll just be like, wow, she has a good heart, she has a nice body, in spite of her not being attractive on the face, she's peaceful, and he'll end up going. So it's not really about being insecure, but yes, it's me secure in my man, or it's him secure in his woman from being taken away. When I explained this, what I've just explained to you, to my male colleague, he actually agreed. And I also mentioned to say it's just not about having male friends, but it's also about putting boundaries with just any male, be it a colleague. It just takes you to think about you having respect for your partner. You can't be, like, you can joke around with your male colleagues, but it shouldn't be, like, to the extremities whereby that museka, I want museka, mongaka. Anyways, you can joke with your male colleagues just on the low. You can interact just on the low. Not just saying no, he's just a colleague. Like there's never the word just. Just is not just a word in these situations. So I also explained to him to say, if you've noticed at work, do you ever see me like interacting with male friends? Do you? And he said no. So like, when you talk to her about this, the reasons I've given you, please also emphasize to say she shouldn't have any form of male relationship anywhere, be it at work, at church. At church, yes, you can interact. You might think, no, this is church, so these guys are well behaved. But we are human beings. We'll always be human beings. A human being is a human being. Whether I am at church, if I am attracted to you, I will think about whatever I want to do to you or with you. So I told him to say, point out that she shouldn't have any close relationship with any male, even if it's a colleague. There's nothing like this is just my colleague. Because there are some women who take, their relationships lightly. They'll even get shocked if you get surprised. For example, if that male colleague gives them a ride home, or they always give them a ride, and you talk to them to say, babe, this is not right, and they'll be like, what? But he's just a colleague and he just gives me a ride. There's no man who would ever, unless if that man is just good-hearted, but there's no man ever who would give you a ride because he just wants to be a good Samaritan. Never. I also explained to him about colleagues. I'm like, she should put some boundaries somewhere. You just don't talk to a colleague anyhow, even calling each other. You can talk to your colleague on work-related issues if they ever call you. Nothing like, no boy, I just wanted to check on you. That is not right, if you think about it, honestly. That's why I'm saying women take it lightly, unless if she hears to say, a female colleague called her boyfriend, is when she would flip out. And that's when she would actually think about it to say, oh, now I see what he meant. I think this is what he meant. This girl was calling him for what? In conclusion, it's not bad for you to have an opposite sex as your friend. But if you're in a relationship, it takes you respecting, like having respect for your partner, for you to make such changes, like cutting off male friends or female friends, putting up boundaries. Apart from showing respect for your partner, it just also shows that, you are a decent lady. I'm not saying people that have male friends are not decent ladies, but for the fact that you're in this relationship and the guy has shown his intentions to say he's serious about you, it just shows that you're a decent lady. I wanted to say African culture. Anyways, since I'm African, I'll just say that African culture, in our culture as Africans, it shows that you're a decent lady if you're not, like interacting with men anyhow. So if you're in a relationship and then imagine you're this girl who's always found with men everywhere, colleagues at work, they're always around you. When you go out, like outings, you're with your male friends and you're even telling your guy, like, I'm with my friends. But again, I feel like it's okay for you to have male friends only if those male friends are your guys' friends and they also have partners and you guys are always found together, and not you guys like hanging around each other minus your people around. That is not right. Yes, so it's out of respect for your partner. It shows that you're a decent lady. It shows that you're putting up boundaries. And it also shows that you respect yourself enough not to allow a man to have access to you anyhow. Because if you're in a relationship and you're allowing these guys to call you at any time, they will not respect your partner. They'll be like, they'll actually think to say, I think this girl is actually not serious about her partner because she's always calling me. And each time they're having problems, she's always calling me, like for me to offer a shoulder when she's depressed about their relationship. And this girl will just be waiting for that open window for him to take over, because it's like, this girl is not serious. These guys also know, guys, next time I'm going to shoot a video with me and my partner so that we get a guy's side and see what they think about this topic that I have just presented to you. Because as a lady, us ladies represent each other, but us ladies are different, same way men are different from each other. Some would support to say, no, it's fine, it just depends with you not allowing this situation to take place, like you falling for this guy or the guy falling for you. But no, I feel like out of respect, just avoid the situation entirely at all costs. So I'll shoot a video with me and my partner to see how he perceives this topic, so that he can share his side, so that he can share the guy's side also, like what guys think actually. Since I brought up this point to say guys actually know to say, this girl, I'm just like a girl, I'm just waiting for you to break up with this guy because it's not good for you. I'm good for you. Bye guys, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, share your thoughts about what you think about this topic. See you in the next video.